Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. What a busy Monday in Port Charles. If you missed General Hospital, then you're in luck, because here's a recap. Lucas Jones Van Hansis stops Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, and says that he needs her help because Brad Cooper, Perry Shen, has been blackmailing someone at the hospital. He fills her in on his trip to Miami, and how while there he found out that Brad was blackmailing co-chief of staff Portia Robinson. Brooke, Kerr, Lucas, and Liz discuss what their next move should be and how they can go about getting more information. Liz remembers that Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, was recently with Portia in an official capacity, something that makes them both realize that maybe they don't really want to know all of the details after all. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, has just broken into Drew Quartermain's, Cameron Matheson, safe in his home when she hears footsteps coming. She closes it up again and runs from the room. As she is trying to get out the front door, Drew asks her if she remembered to lock the safe. He also promises her that there is nothing in his safe that she could ever use against him to get her daughter, Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, to turn on him. Willow walks in as the two are arguing, and she scolds Nina for going behind her back. Nina again addresses her valid concerns before leaving. After she is gone, Willow asks Drew if there is any chance that Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, could be awarded custody if she moves in, and of course, Drew tells her that he'll never let it happen. Portia is discussing the press conference with Ava Jerome, Maura West, and how glad she is that it has gotten Drew off her back for a moment. She then shows Ava Drew's patient chart and insinuates that there might be something in it that she can use against him. Ava tells her not to do whatever she is contemplating because it'll inevitably get her in more trouble than she's already in. Instead, Ava tells Portia that she needs an ally, someone who also needs to get Drew out of the way. A little while later, Nina arrives at Portia's office, and Ava leaves them alone to compare notes. The ladies realize that they are both equally serious about handling Drew, and they make a pact to work together. Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, is hooked up to a lie detector test by Vaughn, and she's being asked about how she feels about the bombing at Sunny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard Penthouse, and what she would do if she were face-to-face with the person responsible for it. Her reading becomes unsteady when she sees Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, appear. He eventually comes to talk to Joss and tells her that her mother has been hospitalized. He shows her the live feed from Carly Spencer's Laura Wright room, which proves that she is recovering. Joss asks what happened, and Jack tells her the truth, and that she can leave to go see her mom, but if she does, she can't return. Joss wants to know if Brennan cares about her mother or if he is just using her, and he refuses to answer her. She then reminds him that Carly isn't stupid, so if he is using her, she'll figure it out fast. She then begins more physical training with Vaughn, who punches her in the face and knocks her down. Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Gran, is in an interrogation room with Valentin Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, asking what kind of help he needs from her if it's not legal. He tells her that he wants her to take care of his daughter. She is in charge of the Cassadine estate. He was the one that made sure of that. He asked her to carve out a little piece for Charlotte Cassadine, Scarlett Fernandez, to make sure that she is okay in his absence. Alexis tells him that it is her job to keep the estate intact for Ace, and that she's not distributing funds to anyone. She does reassure him that Charlotte will have everything that she needs because he brought her home to the family. Charlotte has just arrived at PCPD, and she corners Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, in the hallway, telling her that she wants to talk to her father. Anna sends her to her office, and Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens, arrives a few minutes later. Lulu wants to bring Charlotte home, and Anna tries to convince her to let Charlotte see Valentin before he is transported out. As Lulu is contemplating it, she comes face to face with Alexis for the first time since Sam's death. A tearful Lulu admits that she had been afraid to face Alexis because the organ donation that saved her life cost Sam hers. She said that she was afraid of how Alexis would react if she saw her and apologized for her loss. Alexis simply scooped Lulu up and hugged her. Charlotte appears as the women are hugging and asks if she can see her papa. Lulu hesitates, and Alexis reminds her that not everyone is lucky enough to say goodbye. leading Lulu to allow Charlotte to see Valentin. He grabs her and tells her how much he loves her as Jack appears and tells him that it's time to go. Valentin gets ready for transport, then hugs Charlotte once more before being led away. Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, is at Carly's hospital bedside demanding that she stay away from Jack. She tells him that he isn't supposed to give orders, and Jason tells her that he tries not to. But this time she nearly died. He reminds her that she knows absolutely nothing about Jack's world, and that the WSB is far more dangerous than anything else she has ever dealt with. She keeps reminding him that it is her choice to make, and Jason thinks she's not taking things seriously enough. Her children need a mother, and that should come first. Jason also shares that the explosives used to firebomb Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, were WSB grade, meaning Jack could be responsible. Jason gets nowhere with Carly, and before leaving he makes her a promise that whatever happens to her will happen to Jack. If she gets hurt, so will he. And if she dies, then Jason promises that he will kill Jack. Nina and Portia form an unlikely alliance. The tension between Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, and Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, reached a boiling point on March 24th, as these two women, each harboring their own set of complicated motives, found themselves on the same side. Their shared goal was clear: to protect their loved ones, though their reasons for wanting to work together were vastly different. The unpredictable nature of their alliance had the potential for a shake-up in the lives of many in Port Charles. Portia, ever the fiercely protective mother, had been dealing with the aftermath of her daughter Trina's, Tatiana Ali, tumultuous relationship with Spencer Casadine, Nicholas Chavez. Trina had been devastated by the revelation that Spencer's loyalty was being tested by his growing attachment to his family, especially his grandmother, the formidable Helena Casadine, Constance Towers. Portia had long been wary of Nina, given the woman's complex past with several key figures in Port Charles, but she saw no other way forward if she wanted to ensure that Trina's future was safe. Nina, who had been facing her own set of challenges with her estranged daughter, Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, recognized that Portia's presence was crucial for her ongoing relationship with Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. With the threat of betrayal looming from those closest to her, Nina knew she needed allies to shore up her position. What started as an uneasy truce soon grew into a formidable, albeit fragile, alliance. Despite their differences, Nina and Portia understood that the stakes were higher than personal vendettas. The two women sat down at a quiet corner table in the Metro Court. Their conversation was laced with tension, yet there was a growing understanding that they might both benefit from mutual cooperation. Portia, with her sharp wit and analytical skills, had been quietly gathering information on the Corinthos family's enemies, while Nina knew firsthand how much danger could lurk behind the most unexpected people. They agreed to keep their actions secret for now, but Portia's sharp instincts suggested that Nana's current alliance with Sonny might be in jeopardy if any more secrets were to spill into the open. "You know we can't afford to let our guard down," Portia said, her voice measured yet intense. "Not with the likes of people like Valentin lurking around." Nina's eyes narrowed. "I know. I've learned the hard way how dangerous people in this town can be, but that's why we need to stay a step ahead." Portia agreed, but neither woman could shake the sense that their alliance, though temporary, could soon face challenges. Valentin Casadine's departure from Port Charles. Valentin Casadine, James Patrick Stewart, had always been a wild card in Port Charles, a man whose past was riddled with secrets, betrayal, and unspeakable deeds. But on March 24, Valentin made the stunning decision to leave town, at least for the time being. The motive behind his departure seemed to be linked to his fractured relationships and the rising danger surrounding him. Valentin's departure had been brewing for weeks. He had been dealing with the fallout of his actions as a Casadine, as well as the tangled web of family dynamics that often left him on the outside. His relationship with his daughter Charlotte, Amelia McLean, though filled with love, was strained due to his mysterious ties to the Casadine legacy. His romantic entanglements with both Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, and Nina Reeves left him stuck between his own desires and the looming threats to his personal life. However, the final straw came when he was forced to confront a chilling message from his uncle, the shadowy figure behind many of the Casadine family's more sinister plots. The message, delivered cryptically through a trusted ally, warned Valentin that his life was in greater danger than ever before. Valentin had long suspected that his position in the family would never allow him to live in peace, but this latest threat pushed him to take drastic action. In a dramatic farewell scene, Valentin packed his bags, his mind heavy with the knowledge that leaving Port Charles might be the only way to protect those he cared about. With a mixture of regret and determination, he bid farewell to Anna, who tried to convince him to stay. "Valentin, don't do this," Anna pleaded. "We can figure it out together." But Valentin, ever the man of mystery, shook his head. "Some battles are not meant to be fought, Anna. I've learned that the hard way." He left Port Charles with a promise to return, but for now, the Cassadine heir had chosen to disappear, leaving behind an air of uncertainty and a question mark hanging over his future. His absence would undoubtedly be felt by the residents of Port Charles, but it also opened up new opportunities for the characters who remained. Jason Morgan threatens Jack. In an unexpected and intense confrontation, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, took matters into his own hands, vowing to do whatever it took to protect his family, even if that meant resorting to extreme measures. The tension between Jason and Jack, Kevin Spurtis, a shadowy figure with ties to some of Port Charles' most dangerous criminals, had been building for weeks, but it finally reached a boiling point on March 24. Jack, who had been involved in a series of underhanded deals aimed at undermining the Corinthos organization, was no stranger to the darker side of Port Charles. His ruthless ways had brought him into conflict with the Corinthos family multiple times, but the most recent plot he had been involved in crossed a line that even Jason could not ignore. Jack's latest betrayal had put the lives of Sonny, Carly, Laura Wright, and their children in direct jeopardy, and Jason was not about to let that slide. In a scene that had viewers on the edge of their seats, Jason cornered Jack in the dimly lit back room of the Metro Court. The atmosphere was thick with tension, as Jason's typically calm demeanor turned cold and dangerous. Jack, realizing he was in over his head, tried to negotiate his way out of the situation, but Jason wasn't having it. "You've made a mistake, Jack," Jason growled, his voice low but laced with menace. "You don't mess with my family, and you sure as hell don't play games with the people I love." Jack's attempts at bargaining faltered. "Jason, come on, let's talk about this," Jack stammered, but Jason was already 2 steps ahead. "There's nothing to talk about. You've crossed a line, and now you're going to pay for it." Jason's eyes narrowed, and his tone grew darker. "If I don't see you leave Port Charles tonight, Jack, I will kill you. You've pushed me too far." Jack's face paled as the threat sank in. He could feel the weight of Jason's words, knowing full well that Jason's reputation wasn't just talk. It was a deadly truth. With nowhere to run, Jack understood that his time in Port Charles was quickly running out. As Jason left the room, his threat hung heavy in the air. For now, Jack was left with a choice: leave town and vanish into the shadows, or face the consequences of his actions. It seemed that for Jason, the message was clear: crossing him or his family was not an option. The fallout from the day's events, March 24, 2025, left Port Charles reeling from a series of events that would forever alter the course of several characters' lives. Nina and Portia's newfound alliance might prove to be a game-changer, but only time would tell how long they could maintain their fragile truce. Valentin's sudden departure left many wondering what was next for the Cassadine legacy, and whether his absence would create a power vacuum in the criminal underworld. And with Jason issuing a lethal threat to Jack, it was clear that there were some lines in Port Charles that should never be crossed. As the dust settled, the residents of Port Charles were left to pick up the pieces, knowing that nothing would ever be the same again. With more danger, secrets, and alliances on the horizon, the future of Port Charles remained as unpredictable as ever. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.